Buruli ulcer, ACHAERE or ACHAERE, Kandi Igbo si akpọ ya, is something that we all need to know much about. We have had misconceptions about this particular disease. They say it's very cheap. Now, people have died for this deadly disease. And they die because they do not understand how it functions and they do not understand what it is all about. And I want to let you know that sometimes this disease is alleged to be a poison or maybe and all of those. But I just want us to get some facts about this Buruli ulcer. Buruli ulcer is a disease that started in Uganda several years, around 1930s. That was the first time it was discovered. But in 1960, it had killed so many more people. And they now named it Buruli, which is part of a town in Uganda, Buruli Ulcer. And over time, an Australian scientist also took up this matter and researched and found out that this also occurs in Australia, and they called it the Bensdale ulcer. Now, ulcer is something like a roads, you know, that you have other ulcers. Mananka, with the ulcer name, you know, in India, sometimes you food people who are Miriana to say, and the handles on name. Now, Kihena cause Buruli ulcer or ACHAERE, and when a microorganism, and about Microbacterium ulcerian. Now, this microorganism, none of the same family with the same microorganism now cause leprosy. That is why now or this microorganism buying into your body, it can stay for 3 to 4 months without manifestation. You will not know that you have this in your system. And you're going to ulcerate your tissues. Tissues or your ulcer your tissues inside, maybe in naka or anywhere in where that contact or and only treat in your form, of course, you know the implications. It will lead to death. And this is the painful part of the whole thing. Now, Kehina cause Buruli ulcer. Buruli ulcer and this nje and microorganism, the Microbacterium ulcerian, lives and survives more in water. And it is suspected, nobody knows for so sure, but it's suspected that mosquito could be a vector and some other insects that survive and breed in water. Now, a help. So when they bite somebody and somebody the disease, the infection already, they can also transmit. But now, if that thing comes into you 3 to 4 months in your system, inside and you will not know. Now after a time, when you something like a pin-like pain or like a scratch or an insect bite, and by the time you scratch and open it, you see that the whole tissue has already been damaged. That's how Buruli ulcer functions. But now, because we have always believed, we go the traditional way. Beautiful. I am not disputing it. Now, there have been videos that what cures it is using early morning urine and cooking ash that had stayed for 3 days. I've seen that. Frankly speaking, people do that and it works for them. But what I want to say here is that beyond the surface or topical treatment or management and dressing, have you consulted a physician, consulted a qualified doctor to look at this issue and advise you medically in a way that your life will be saved and that you will also save yourself some costs? The only time I in Agazi Hospital, by the time the thing need to go too much and it has actually caused so much damage, will now rush to hospital. At that time, the symptoms would have become complex and it could be confusing that even doctors may not know the right thing to diagnose. But I can advise you, if you know how these things work, you can begin to take your treatment serious and take it on time. The researched way of treating Buruli ulcer, the ACHAERE, is using the same treatment and they use it for leprosy, because the microorganism now cause here, they are the same family. The same treatment for leprosy is the same treatment that can, not exactly the same, but you need a qualified physician to give you a guide. But it is used, the antibiotic used, not by injection, but by antibiotics taken as tablets. If you can find the right one, or taking the advice of a right personnel, you will get this treatment done on time, and you will save your life and save every other thing that is in it. It is not a mystery. It's not like a mystery where people will poison you when you're in Lagos, they see now from village, you bargain the 10 or it's anywhere. It has to do with contact with this microorganism before it will survive. So I want you to take the right decision regarding this disease management. We'll always advise you to see the right physician, and I want you to continue. If you have a comment, you have a better way this thing can be managed, you have an advice, you have an experience, we want you to share with us on Insights with Dr. K. Share, follow, and keep up with us through our social handles.